Hey, it's Eric. I'm going to walk you through how to set up your ShredLights Plus with the app so you can get the most out of all of the features. First and foremost, it's going to be really important that you have the latest version of the ShredLights app installed on your phone from the App Store. That's not only going to include the latest app updates, but will also have the latest firmware packages for the lights themselves. If they're not up to date, the app will prompt you to update your lights right there. It only takes a few minutes and it's super easy. Now let's get the lights paired to the app. So when you first open the app, you'll see this screen that says tap here to pair lights. We'll hit that plus in the upper right corner and add a new light. I've got each of the light models here, and we'll just use the FX for an example. I'll press and hold the power button on top, hold it down for 5 seconds until the light starts flashing blue, and then in the app you'll see it pop up. And we'll go ahead and tap it. This is where you can edit the name if you want, but I'm just going to leave it. Hit next. And now you can select if you want to start creating a group, but for now let's just hit the bottom button, leave ungrouped, and now we've got the FX paired, and I can turn it on and off from the app. For the headlights and taillights, the button is located on the side. You'll do the same thing. You'll press and hold the button for 5 seconds. You'll see the light turn on. In the app, we'll hit the plus, add light. You'll see that front lens is flashing blue, and it will recognize that this is an R1 Plus, and we'll get that paired. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pair the other two lights. The SL1000 will flash blue on the top instead of out of the lens. Okay, now I've got all 4 lights paired to the app. Let's go through the customization settings for each light model. For the FX, we'll tap the middle part and it'll open the drawer. We'll click Customize. Once we're on the Customize screen, at the top you'll see Auto On Off and Bluetooth Motion Wake. These settings will apply to all of the light models in the same way. Auto on off, pretty self-explanatory. The lights will automatically turn off after 30 seconds of no motion, and then next time you go and move the light, it will turn back on. Bluetooth Motion Wake, this is intended to extend the standby battery life of your lights. So every light has an accelerometer or a motion sensor inside of it. This allows us to turn the Bluetooth on and off to preserve as much battery life as possible when you're not using them, while making the lights responsive to the app controls when you are using them. By default, Bluetooth Motion Wake will be disabled to give you the maximum battery life, but that means after 20 minutes of no motion, you'll have to press the side button on every light to get them to pair to the app. If you don't want to do that every time you use your lights, then enable Bluetooth Motion Wake, and what that means is moving your lights will turn the Bluetooth signal on and allow them to pair to the app. The only thing is it will turn the Bluetooth on anytime they're moved, so if you're carrying your lights around and they're in motion a lot, then I highly recommend turning Bluetooth Motion Wake off to get maximum standby battery life. Next, let's get into the light mode settings. So you'll see mode 1, 2, and 3. These are your 3 available custom slots, so you can customize a few different modes and save them to the light. As you can see right now, if I change the color, it's not showing up on the light. So let's go back to the home screen and turn the light on. Now this will make it so when I change the color, I can actually see it live on the light. And below the color selection is where we can decide the brightness. The less bright that you have the light, the more battery life that you're going to get, as well as the color. The white is going to use the most battery life out of any colors, whereas colors like blue and purple are going to be a lot more conservative on battery life. Next up, we got fade. So here I'm able to add color slots, and the light is just going to transition between those different colors. So what I usually like to do is have a few fully bright colors and a few dim colors. And when you have a color changing mode like pulse and you're switching between full brightness and dimmer brightness, you get a lot longer battery life and you're not going to notice the dimmer brightness quite as much. So just kind of a tip to get more battery life out of the SLFX. Next up, let's go to the R1 Plus. This light is the only light that has brake mode. This screen will look a little different. Again, we have auto on off, Bluetooth Motion Wake at the top. They work the exact same way as I just explained for the FX. For the mode options, we have solid or flash. In solid, it's just going to be changing the brightness control there. For flash, when I tap that, it expands 3 different flashing options. And then at the bottom here, you'll see brake mode. When you enable brake mode, it's going to open up the different options. These are fun to mess around with and dial in the brake mode that you want to occur when you're braking. For the SL300 Plus and 1000 Plus, they're going to be the same options in here, so I'll just go through the 300 Plus. Again, we have solid and flash, and you can adjust the brightness. The SL1000 Plus will have the same options, but because it is a 1000 lumen LED, it's just going to be much brighter on max brightness than it is on the SL300 Plus. Now let's go ahead and create a group. So in the top right, we'll hit the plus and add a new group. And from here, you can select any of the icons. I am going to do a electric skateboard. So now that we got our light group made, let's go to the hamburger menu and we'll click Arrange Lights. And this is where you're going to be able to add lights into that group. So we'll go ahead and drag all of these lights into that group. Now you can see all of the lights are in this one group. So with one switch, I can turn all of my lights on and off. The same thing applies to the modes. Here, all of the lights are in mode 1, but if I go to mode 2, it's going to change all of the lights to mode 2. So if I put my phone away, now when I press and hold, it's going to turn all the lights on, and then a quick press is going to change the light modes, and another long press is going to turn all the lights off. Let's say, for example, you have these 3 lights on your electric skateboard, and you have this SL1000 on your helmet, and you just want to turn this SL1000 on or off, you can just quick press the side button, and it's just going to turn this light on. The same thing applies to any of the lights, and I'll turn it off. And then if I want to use this light or any of the lights to turn the group on, I'm going to long press the side button, and then it's going to turn the group on. So it's just a convenient way if you just need to turn one light on or off without having to go in and ungroup them. You can just quick press and you can just turn that light on. The next thing is going to be customizing the group. On the home screen, we'll open up the light group, hit customize, and then in the top right, we'll hit edit. And this screen is going to allow us to edit the name of this group or change the icon here. And at the very bottom, you can delete that group. So if we delete this group, now back on the home screen, all of our lights are ungrouped again. So that's all for the ShredLights app. Once you get the settings and light groups customized in the app, you can put it away and just use the buttons on the lights to change the settings that you need, making it more convenient so you don't always have to pull out the app. We hope you enjoy your new ShredLights Plus, and thanks for watching.